What's up,
Oh,
buddy?
Lord have mercy.
All right.
What's up, Phil? Luke, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right.
Good, good, good. So obviously we got to do the breakdown of the fucking Pittsburgh Pro, and I know he
Uh,
hates it,
we're going to
but
talk bodybuilding. Oh, Jesus.
yeah, no, I hate that. I hate it.
I
But
got
how
Jason's
funny?
favorite shirt on today.
Ah, very nice, very nice. But how
It's
funny was that clip?
made in China.
Yeah, probably.
China. Made in China. China. Say it properly. China. Yeah.
Did you see? Did you guys see the clip of me and Lee that I put up today on Instagram?
No.
Uh,
I was at work all day, man.
oh, it
I
was
didn't
just
even see it.
You and
What
your
was
lady
it's
shit.
noises that we make at the gym. It was pretty funny.
Oh, really?
Check
Yeah.
it out. I don't check it.
Anyway,
I
before
don't make any noises at the gym. I make the noises getting ready to go to the gym, putting shoes on and all that sort of shit. I
oh
make more
fuck,
noises doing that than training.
Hey Lee, it was Ed's birthday. I think yesterday or
Saw that
today.
yesterday, yeah, because I sent him happy birthday and I sent him a
Yeah,
message telling Jay to go fuck himself and get a tattoo. He's like, I showed Jay your message because Jay and them took him out for dinner in
yeah,
Vegas last
dude. You
night.
just sent me a picture of them all together. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
because Jay
I,
hasn't got a tattoo, so I'm going to corrupt him one day and take him to get a tattoo.
Just drug him, dude. Give
Oh,
him
he's
some
too, he's
chlorophyll.
too perfect. His fucking hair, his skin's all clean. Fuck off. He needs something. Come on.
yeah,
Give him,
really.
give him some chloroform. Put him under and get him tattooed
Yeah,
up.
the
I was
cucumber
supposed
up
to
his
get another
ass.
one, but I never went.
You have
Uh,
to go there.
Hey, it's cucumber. It's healthy. Come on.
sorry, fellas.
No, where's he going now?
He's
Sorry,
He's
got
having a stroke. You having a
yeah.
stroke?
Anyway, all right. So, a friend of mine sent me a question for Anabolic Academy, but it was a situation that happened with Jay Cutler, and I didn't hear of it. Maybe I was fucking, flying under the I don't know. But I wanted to bring this up and see if you guys heard of it and what your opinion was before we get into the Pittsburgh Pro, because I didn't even hear of this. So it's my friend Eli. He's been on the show. I think he was on the show like a year ago, something like that. So apparently he sends me a question. I didn't know the answer to the question, and then he sends me like backup information. So apparently a couple of months ago, Guy Sistanino said one of the Olympia people confronted him at an expo, and manager Matt got involved that it was a shouting match. They confronted Jay, meaning Jay Cutler, for saying he wasn't going to Olympia because he doesn't like the way it's run. Olympia people have the worst. This is his opinion now. Olympia people have the most hated people. Tim Wilkins, Bob Chick, Sean Ray. They removed Dennis James press conference because he doesn't kiss the ass. That's his opinion. The most loved guy in bodybuilding, Jay Cutler, got ran up on because you can't say nothing negative about the Olympia. So did you hear of this? And
no.
I did hear Jay. When the Olympia was on last year, I do recall Jay saying he wasn't going to it. I think he was
yeah,
just
I
going.
do remember that.
He was going to
But
go to the finals, but he wasn't going to go to prejudging. And I think he did mention how it wasn't. He did actually. I do remember on his podcast. It was going back to how he didn't think they were treated well, and then he was going back to was it the year before when they kept them like to 11:30 at night before they went on. So I think it was had to do with that the way they put them on last, and Jay said they should come out at least first or something, and then that sort of thing. So I do remember he did mention it like that, but shit, I mentioned remember when Robert Chain used to run the Olympia.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
did, and I did that article in MD where I had the finger like that. It said FD Olympia. I'm going to the Arnold, and I said the same thing about how the Olympia's meant to be the Super Bowl, but you get pretty much treated the worst. The Arnold you got treated well. Tony Doherty in Australia would treat you like a king when you come down here and stuff. So I said for the Super Bowl you got treated like shit, and they didn't want to let me in and go to the expo once I said that. They wanted to ban me for going.
now he
So,
doesn't say
so
who. He doesn't say which person confronted
Well,
Jay.
do you remember Jason when John Romano and with MD, I was with MD at the time, and Romano and Colombo, they did a column just saying how the Olympia wasn't well run. They lost their press
yeah,
passes the
they
following
lost
year.
the match. Yeah. So
Really?
this is AMI now that runs it, right?
Uh, no, isn't it just Jake Wood now? Jake
Yeah,
Wood
it's
is that
Jake
runs
Wood.
it. Well, Jake Wood owns it, I think, but Dan Solomon and then whoever he's with, they run it.
They
So
run it.
they so it's got to fall in the hands of the promoter. Um, in terms of look, I'm sure it's not the judges that are running things late.
No.
They're dealt a hand of cards that
Right.
they got to play with, dude. There's all these athletes, and it's everything's shuffled around. And from what I've seen in the past, they get these athletes through, dude. They fucking run them through. They don't waste time. The complaints I've heard in the past couple of years looks like it's falling more on promoter type responsibilities. So if he has a reason, for when he's putting the guys on as opposed to the girls, or how he's stretching it out, that falls on him. So if he's boycotting it because the way it's run, then that's where it's got to be. You can't say, hey, it's fucked up judging, or it's the expediters that I'm sure. I know the crew that does the show, dude. They run a good show, so it's not them.
No.
So I would assume it's got to fall on the promoter.
Mm-hmm. Have to be.
Okay, Luke, what were we gonna say?
No, I didn't I didn't hear about that.
What kind of guy is Dan Solomon? Because he did go on I forgot another podcast and talk about how he wasn't going to do the black background.
Yeah, and the smoke, and then I know a lot of people got pissed off because he goes, listen, if not having a black background, a little bit of smoke, whatever, washes the athletes out a bit, so be it. I'm like, come on, Dan. It's like these guys have trained for the Super Bowl of bodybuilding where you want to look your best, and you're saying, well, we want to have the lights and the smoke and that. So look, I understand that the night show you want to have your sponsors, but it's like we said on the last show, come pre-judging time, when you call 4 or 5 guys out, if you've got the LED screen, you can still have your sponsors up the side across the top, but when you're comparing them, just make it black for that 2 minutes. And when they go back in line, flash all your sponsors. When they come out, just make it black. Nighttime, go to town, have smoke, have fucking lasers, do whatever. But the critical judging point, when, like I said, when you get to Olympia, I think like this year, I think the Olympia this year is going to be close with Derek Sampson, Hardy, if he's there, and everyone, where one little thing where the lighting had hit somebody wrong. And you can remember in the old days, Jason, if you weren't in those free middle bits of the stage, the lighting wasn't as good the further you went out. And you could be shredded, but standing free out this way, you look shit. So lighting can be so important. And for Dan to say, oh, well, if it smooths them out a bit, I'm like, these guys are busted their ass to be their best on that day. Make them look the best.
So the way Dan dismissed that, and that's how it really came across, was look, we're here to make money and fuck the athletes. This is the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. It's about promoting. It's about growing it monetarily from a business point of view. So let's just play devil's advocate, because Lee made a great point. I get it. I'm a promoter too, not at that level, but I know you're there to make money. If you don't make money, you can't run the show. You can't pay the athletes. You can't come up with the prize money. So there is a responsibility that the promoter has to make sure the people that are funding these shows, the sponsors, the people that are buying tickets, that they're getting their money's worth from a marketing standpoint. However, just like Lee said, dude, like when the game is in play in football, there's no fucking music in the background. In between plays, there's music. So they could find a happy medium, but the way Dan came across was a little unprofessional, and as if he didn't give a shit about the sport of it.
It's like you said, he dismissed it. It's like my way or no way. That's it.
Yeah. So you gotta come up with a happy medium, and you shut everything down during the comparisons. You can have it on top, just like you said. You can have it in the background.
Even on the front of the stage, they even got LEDs across the front, where if it's here and the guys are up here, at least it's down beneath them, so you can still have it going all around. And I think didn't they have one year to have all the screen, the fake columns as well, like the Olympia columns. You can even have the names on the columns projected on the columns, as long as, like we said, for that 1 or 2 minutes you could do in comparisons, shut it down and then flash them up again when they're swapping people over.
Just from a marketing point of view, when something's there constantly, you don't even fucking look at it anymore. But if the guys are on stage and then once they're off there, you pop up, hey, you're going to see it.
Right.
So from a marketing standpoint, it's probably more effective to do it that way anyway. But he just didn't want to fucking hear it.
two really good points that Lee brought up and then you brought up. But the reason why I asked what kind of guy is he?
What? I made a good point.
Yeah, you did. And once in a while it happens.
Medication must be kicking in today.
The reason why I asked what kind of guy he is, because is he the kind of guy that is just my way or the highway, or is it like, because I've had this happen to me too, where you know the inner workings of something and it's complicated, or it's not as easy as people make it seem, and people that have no idea what goes into it want to criticize it, and then your attitude is like, "Fuck you! You don't know, you don't even know the half of what it takes to go into this." Is it that, or is it my way or the highway?
To answer that, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, because I am this way with certain things also. He's just a businessman. Without pulling punches and without kicking him below the belt, he's a businessman.
Right.
But if you look at somebody like Steve Weinberger,
bodybuilding.com beginning.
Yeah, but if you look at somebody like Steve Weinberger, who's a businessman, but make sure the athletes are fucking taken care of and seen properly, it's a different approach. Where Steve's respecting the sport and he's there to make money and be a businessman also. Dan, it just seemed like it's pure business, and that's not the way to handle, something when there's athletes involved. Because just like you said, it turns.
I think it's pure business with him too. Because I remember when it's with bodybuilding.com, I think he used to take care of the board over there and stuff back in the day, where he was just sort of almost like a big fan he was back in the day and all this sort of stuff. But then it's like I said, he got the Olympia gig, and it's almost like now some people, like if you run the Olympia like a promoter, sadly, everyone kisses your ass, or he runs the Olympia, kiss your ass. And some people, when they get all that attention and this and that, it's like their head starts getting bigger. But this is just from my point of view, from what I've seen.
He wasn't like that in the beginning.
No. But now it seems like he's this self-importance. He's got this self-importance now when he walks through somewhere. There's Dan, the promoter of the Olympia. So it's almost like people, hi, Dan. And sometimes when that goes to people's heads, they think they're a bit more important and it's all about them, when, no, Dan, without the athletes, you don't have a show. So treat the athletes
well. 2 great points, Lee. 2 great points.
And John, you've been to my show how many times?
I don't know, a lot.
Right, and you've worked it. Like, dude, everybody's taken care of there.
And I've competed in it too.
And the athletes
I won it too.
Yeah.
What? You won the show?
I still got the trophy behind me.
Fucking rigged. This is bullshit.
It was before we knew each other.
Did his check bounce, Jason? Did he check bounce, or was it okay?
He dehydrated and fainted backstage. We had to give him some CPR. What year was that?
2012.
Holy, yeah, that was at the college.
Yeah.
Monmouth University.
That's right. It was 2012. I won the Masters overall, came in second in the
that was the only time that cunt went to college for a bodybuilding show. Wasn't for anything else.
That's not true. You see the two fucking things again. Anyway.
You got them online. Who are you kidding?
So is it is it also a case of, it's a one-stop shop? Like what I mean by that is it's the Olympia, and this is where everybody wants to be. So tough shit. It's this way, and it doesn't matter.
I think it used to be that way, but now because the Arnold's got more prize money, and the Pittsburgh's giving out 100,000. Before the Olympia, people would go there too in hopes of that's where the big money was. But now these other shows are matching the money. If you don't treat the athletes well, look, people that love to compete. An Arnold Classic title is just as good, or any pro title is great. Yeah, the Olympia is the Olympia, but still, if you don't treat the athletes well, they'll stop going to it. They'll be like, fuck it, we'll go do these other shows.
Here's the thing, though. The Olymp. No, I fully agree. That happens with the small. We see it happen with the smaller shows and whatnot, that they just don't go because of the money. But the Olympia is set up, and it's the only bodybuilding show that is set up that you have to win a show to get there. So it's you have to be one of the best to step on stage, and there's a lot of notoriety that goes into that. There's a lot of passion that goes into that.
But now it seems like it's getting to the point that, okay, yeah, you made it to Olympia, but did you get invited to the Arnold? That's now it's starting. That's what's starting to happen now. Like the tides are starting to change. It's like, you could go to the Olympia, but it's still. Have you ever been invited to an Arnold?
Right.
Still, and if you haven't been invited to the Arnold, it's gonna be like, damn, I didn't get invited to the Arnold yet.
Yeah.
Didn't get
Because
invited to the
everyone,
Arnold yet. I've been going to the Olympia, but I didn't get an invite. That's
Yeah.
this.
Well, I
everyone
think,
puts
honestly, if
everyone
I
fills
think,
out their form, fills out their form for an invitation to the Arnold. If you don't get it, you're like, oh, what's
Yeah.
wrong with me? Why didn't I get him?
yeah, I think if you
How
make it
many-
to the Olympia and you apply to the Arnold, like if you get, you're probably going to get the invite if
Oh,
you're
of
in.
course.
You
Wait,
know.
how many Arnolds did you go to?
Don't know. Have to be at least 9 or 10, maybe, or
You
8.
competed in 9 or 10 Arnolds, really?
Every time I put my name down, I got invited. I never missed it.
Yeah, that's cool. What about you, Jay?
Just twice, man. Just twice.
And as far as comparing the Arnold and how
Jake's like a
things-
sleaze fault. They already had a short white guy. They didn't want me.
yeah, they only needed one short white guy.
Fuck, they got me again. Fuck
they
him.
reached their demographic. They didn't need another one.
And compared to how the Arnold was run versus the Olympia, in your experience, Jay, what was the difference?
So, okay, so I made it to 2 Arnolds before I even made it to the Olympia. So getting the invites to the Arnold, dude, those were the first 2 shows that you felt like a pro athlete because we flew our own way out there. We're getting tanned in our own rooms. Like it was a little different back then.
You got the 2 chocolate chip cookies when you checked into the DoubleTree.
Yes,
Really?
yeah. But
I'd
the
go
rooms
back for more and say I didn't get them, and they'd give me 2 more, and I'd fucking eat them before the show.
Yeah, I mean they covered your expenses. They covered the room. You were treated like an athlete.
Yeah.
The Olympia, it was different, and for me it was the 202 before it was the 212.
Right.
So they were just growing the 202, so we had to pay our own way out there. And I believe my room was comped, but I think because I had a sponsor for those years, so I didn't. It was covered by my sponsors, but from an athlete point of view, they both treated you pretty fucking good, dude. You were taken care of. You needed anything, they were there. And the Olympia, you have that. You're at the fucking Olympia, feeling. But you also have that at the Arnold, dude.
Right. Now, Luke, I know you've never been to either way, but Lee and Jay competed a long time ago. When you what show did you do last year? You did Legion, right? How did they treat you at the Legion?
Oh, they treated me great.
Really?
Yeah, they treated me great. There's it's from tanning to getting out on stage and everything. They show great hospitality for the athletes. They treat all the athletes well.
Did they have anything like special for the athletes, or did they good?
It didn't. They treated everyone the same. It didn't even though Brett Wilkin was out there, the other guys out. It didn't make it. They didn't make it seem like, oh, this is the star. Dude, we got to give
no favoritism.
Treated the same. Everybody was in the same area. No one got special treatment out there. It was just
okay. Did they have like food or anything for you guys afterwards, or?
Oh no, they didn't. They didn't have food. They didn't have food.
What about like hotel stay and all that bullshit?
They had hotel. Yeah, you have to pay for your hotel.
But
they gave a discount. They gave a discount.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, but as far as I mean, it's a smaller show. I
well,
get it.
When I put on my Lee Priest Classic, I made sure, sadly he's passed away, Tony Novak, that used to he still make the Arnold Classic jackets every year. I had him make Lee Priest Classic jackets with the MIF pose on the back, and similar, looked like the Arnold Classic jackets for all the class winners and overall winners. Had big trophies backstage, had a whole big table full of candy, another big table full of pizza because I knew what it's like to compete. So I put the athletes first and that. And I remember I did first year I had the Florida Pro show. I mean, we got treated like shit, and they're like, oh, Lee's being backstage complaining because one time we're backstage, we're sitting there, and this guy, Expediter, comes back. Guys, you got 30 minutes, just relax. So we always start relaxing. It's like you put your feet up. Then he comes back 2 minutes later. You got to get on stage now. Get on stage now. I'm like, you told us 30 minutes. You're like, no, now. So we start undressing. We start to put oil on. You haven't got time for oil. All they're going to do is call your name, step forward, hit a couple of poses, and get off. I said,
what show was this?
The first year they had the I think it's like South Beach in Florida or something.
Oh God.
So I'm like, wait a minute. We're prepared for this show with no oil and not pumping up. You're going to look like crap. And there's so many photographers that get that one fucking photo.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, no, we're not doing it. So he goes and tells him Lee's being difficult. I said, well, start the fucking show without us. We're going to pump up first. And then backstage, I'm like, is there any water? I forget who it was. Someone was starting to cramp and I was looking for water. I said, you got any water? No water. I said, why is there no water? Oh, is water that important? I'm like, listen, on any other given day, no, it's not. I couldn't give a fuck. But when we're back here dehydrated and just need some water, yes, it's a big fucking deal today. So he goes and tells them, Lee's still being difficult. I'm like, fuck me dead. I'm just, it's like.
What show, Jay and Lee, what show did you guys do that was a smaller show in comparison, obviously? Anything a small show in comparison to the Arnold and Olympia that surprisingly treated you guys really good?
Well, I'd say the best one, apart from them, would be Tony Doherty in Australia. Everyone that comes down, he'll pick you up from the airport, take you to the gym. He'll have people run you wherever you want to go. At the gym, he had his brother, who's a chef and cook, would cook up all the bodybuilders' chicken, rice, whatever you needed.
Really? The
food would be done. Like, you couldn't want any better. Like, the way you're treated for the Australian Pro Show, he went way above and beyond. Paid for the people's hotels, airfares, all the food. If you want to go train at this time or go somewhere, you'd have a car pick you up. Like, you couldn't be treated any better.
Mm-hmm. That's impressive. That's pretty damn good. What about
everyone
you,
that's done Tony's show would tell you how good it was run and how he treated the athletes.
I did I think Toronto treated me good. San Francisco Pro.
The Ironman wasn't bad, Jay. It was always good. The Ironman Pro, they were pretty good there.
I say that, the Ironman was always. The California shows were good. I remember the Colorado Pro, and I think Sean Ray was part of that, promoting or co-promoting that year.
Put on the fans, didn't he?
Yeah, that was actually a decent show. There was one show. It was, I don't remember who promoted back then. It was the Wings of Strength or something. I think it was in Tennessee or Alabama. It was, one of my dark years as a pro. And it was, it's like you were just out on your own. You were just out on your own. The itinerary wasn't put out. You had to call in for it. It seemed like it was the first year these guys were putting it together, and it wasn't.
Those Wings of Strength people put on one of the first or second Masters Olympia, and no one got money. Remember, or they didn't get paid or something.
Yeah, they screwed them out of the money. Yeah, they didn't pay them. All right. I don't know if the same people. I don't know.
Doing a show and you expect to get money. Oh, sorry guys, we got no money. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, I think after that, Jim Mannion made everybody put all the prize money had to be in escrow before, because promoters were fucking people for money. They weren't, hey, well, we didn't make any money at the show. Well, dude, how's that my problem or Lee's problem or Luke's problem? We're here to get paid.
Unfortunately, we got to move on to the Pittsburgh Pro.
Damn it!
I sent you guys the lineup. So here's the lineup. Derek Lunsford, Martin Fitzwater, Nick Walker, Good Vito, William Bonac, Mike Crizzo, Justin Musial, Ron Gordon, Leandro Perez, Joe Ballinger, Pavel Baran, Douglas Connor, Bartley Weaver, the fourth, Marcello De Cruz, and Vincenzo Massone.
Which one's the one? Is it Leandro or Marcel? Who's the one that got second Vito at Arnold Brazil?
Yeah.
Is he in this show?
Yeah, he's doing the show. Yeah, I think that's him. Leandro Perez. Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
He's pretty good. I'm going to go out on a limb here. And God, I hate doing this because I know they like me and watch my show.
They're going to block you.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just pulling it from my gut. I don't think Nick's going to take second in this show.
Think he's going to win?
No, I think he's going to get knocked out.
What?
Yeah, I think either Bonac or Martin's going to knock him out.
Who do you think's going to win?
I think Derek's going to win.
Are we going to do predictions here?
Yeah, why not? I think Derek's going to win, and the only reason why I'm really saying that is because of Nick's shape. He's obviously going to outsize William Bonac, and he might not even outsize Martin at this point, but who knows? But Bonac looks damn good, and Martin, we haven't seen. He hasn't put many progress picks up in the last couple of weeks.
And they're all saying he's 10 pounds heavier and just as shredded. Well, the last Fuad show, what's his name? Boss of Outlaw sent Fuad a picture while he's on the show. He said, you can't show, but he's looking at it. And Fuad was saying he's never seen Martin in that condition. And that was 2 weeks out. He goes, I've never seen Martin this hard with the extra size. So
yeah, I could totally see that. Now, again, I'm a Nick fan. I would love nothing more to see Nick win the whole thing. But when I make these predictions,
he's been training in Jersey, John?
What happened?
Nick's been in Jersey, training in Jersey.
Yeah, he's living at his parents' house for the last couple of weeks and training in Jersey. I don't know what show. Maybe the old gym he used to go to. I don't know.
No, I heard he was up at Iron Culture down. It's in my area.
But what do you guys think? Luke, what do you think?
I think Nick's gonna pull it off.
You think Nick's gonna pull it? He's gonna take first or second?
I think he's gonna get it.
You think he's gonna win the whole thing? Wow, that's a bold prediction. I would love nothing more than to see that. To be honest with you,
I have a strong feeling he is.
Yeah,
I'm thinking the same. I'm thinking Nick, Derek, Bonac, Vito, and then Crizzo maybe. I've left Martin out, so Martin will be in there. But
yeah,
I reckon it's going to be Nick, Derek, and then between
I think Martin
and Bonac there in third and fourth.
Yeah, and we got to see how Mike Crizzo translates to the stage.
Because
on Instagram, he looks phenomenal. On Instagram, he looks like the winner, right?
Yeah. I hope he holds that look.
Yeah, but we got to see how he translates to the stage.
And have you ever noticed too? There's a lot of white guys who are that pale and look shredded like that, but for some reason they go too hard on the tan and they sort of cover up all the definition.
I think it's on the lighting or something like that. In like they call it the goon lighting in the gym or whatever. That makes him look.
I'm gonna go out on a stretch, and I hate saying this because I love Nick and he's from Jersey.
Yeah.
I want Nick to win.
Me too.
I want Nick to win, but I think Martin is going to pull an upset. I think, and I'm basing this because I've never seen Derek. He just peaked for the Olympia.
Yeah.
Right. Then he does the Arnold. Now he's doing this. So I love seeing it. I love that these guys are competing more. And I love seeing a lineup like this because it makes it a fun show. Like this is what brings back like some good times, Lee. Like exactly. Our times when this is something we fucking want. Like
I like to go back to our day, but when you think of our day, the Arnold, the Iron Man, whatever show there was pretty much like Olympia lineup, just missing Mr. Olympia because everyone competed.
Yeah.
So you think Martin's going to take it?
I think Martin's going to take it. I'm going to go Derek for second. I'll go Nick for third. And then I have, good Vito, Crizzo in any order.
I would love to see nothing more than an upset.
Bonac. Bonac, I think, will pull out fifth.
If Nick doesn't win, does Nick then go to New York a week later?
Yeah.
He's gonna have to. He's gotta.
Because I thought Nick, because a week later on the 18th, Guy's having his first year opening, and I thought Nick was going to that. So maybe he won't be going to that if he's got to go to New York.
Well, here are the shows. Let's see. You got. I had a list of the shows.
Isn't there a few that are just back to back, like a week?
There's a bunch of them coming up.
Yeah. So we got the New York Pro. Sorry, Luke. What were we gonna say?
I think it's Pittsburgh, New York, and then Legion.
It's Pittsburgh, New York, California is May 24th. Then the Legion on May 31st. And then Toronto the week after. So so honestly, Nick could skip.
There's like five shows you could go back.
Nick could skip the New York Pro and still go to either Cali or Toronto.
I think he'd love winning New York again in front of his home crowd.
Everybody, yeah, absolutely. But,
I think it's fun to go to.
But let's pull up some pictures. And there's another guy I want to talk about.
But with the shows being a week apart, with Derek, if he wins it, go, well, fuck it, I'm going to go to New York too. Might as well get all the titles and the money while I'm in shape.
Yeah. So another guy I want to talk about because he's a New York guy. He's not going to do well, but he's been bodybuilding for a long time. He's been in the amateur circuits for a long time. I think he just turned pro a year or two ago. Vincenzo Massone, he's from Long Island. And
well, he just unfollowed you, didn't he?
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. He's gonna get wrecked, but he's a huge, huge human being. He's just a monster of a person. Because I worked a show that he won the overall, and he just was so impressively huge. He might be the biggest guy on stage on this because he's a monster, but he just doesn't have
him on stage there doing stand up with the red hat on, is it?
Yeah, no, that's not him. Here it is. Okay, here we go.
He looks good.
When he's oiled up, he looks completely different.
Oh, okay. When he
Oh
takes
yeah,
that
he
hat
won
and
the.
shirt off.
I believe he won the Arnold Amateur.
Oh, he looks different without the t-shirt on. Fuck.
Yeah, because when you look at he's a huge person. Like
You should ask his gym to get a standing calf machine.
He's over 6 foot tall, and he's got to be close to 300 pounds. He's a huge guy, but when you look at his shape, you just go, yeah, that's not gonna do it. Let me see if we got any shots here. Okay, here we go. So this was a day ago, and I mean, kudos to him. He's jumping into a stacked lineup. He really could have.
If you look like that and you're over 6 foot, if you're 6'2", 6'4", and that, I'd be sending all my fucking photos to fucking casting agencies to get in movies as a bad guy, henchman, fucking whatever.
Yeah. No, absolutely. He looks like a villain. He could play a damn terrorist or something.
You probably get in one movie and you get in others, and who cares? Just get in all the movies playing the bad guy.
Oh, that's just daughter. Never mind. Okay, where
he looks different there. Oh, there he looks different. He's pregnant.
Oh yeah. Let me see if I can get. There we go. Okay. See. He's a huge guy. Like you could see him as a WWE wrestler.
Yeah.
But he's just gonna get fucking destroyed. It's unfortunate, but he is.
And it's funny, like you said, as someone as big as that, you put Martin beside him, and all his weaknesses are going to show.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to show some of the not no names, being the lesser of.
I just lost more followers.
Who the hell is Ron? Ron Gordon is the black dude that what's his name, right? Oh God, he was. What was the show that he did? I think he came in third or fourth. I don't know. I forget. Doesn't matter. All right, let's go to Leandro. Let's see, Leandro.
The one from Brazil, Leandro.
Yeah.
But like I said, if his conditioning improved, he could do damage if his conditioning is a lot better.
No question. This was the Arnold Brazil.
Yeah,
great shape. He looks fit.
Big dude.
Yeah,
very similar. A bit like if you saw him, Good Vito, Crizzo, and Nick together, they all look very similar. Be a good call out if they're all in shape.
Yeah, I can't wait for this show, man. I'm actually really excited for
this show. It's gonna be a good show.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, this guy looks good. This is 2 days ago. This guy looks fucking good. But again, you got to give him kudos, man. These guys that jump into lineups that are stacked, and because for a couple of years there were people just selectively choosing shows, right?
Yeah.
And that doesn't make for the fans very interesting. So I'm glad these guys are jumping in, even when they know, they're probably not going to break the top 5, but they're still like, fuck it.
But that's where it's like even hard with Nick is like, yes, we know Licks look great, but because we haven't seen him compared to these guys for 2 years, it's sometimes hard to picture him beside him still until he actually gets out there again. Then
another reason why I'm not picking Nick is this is his first time with the new coach.
Good point. Yeah.
He hasn't dialed in, in a couple of years, right? When's the last time he competed?
2 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
2 years.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
The New York Pro last year, the New York Pro, right?
Yeah, it was last year. He didn't hit his peak right. He was slightly off. He's with a new guy now. Hopefully he dials it in. But I think if he doesn't dial it in this week, he'll fix those little bumps in the road and probably
a couple of shows,
the rest of the shows.
So here's this guy, Justin Musial. He's German. He's gonna get killed. Again, he's a big dude, but he's gonna get wrecked. Let's see. I'm trying to look for like a dark
You're
horse.
going to send him a DM and say, don't bother going.
Yeah. Listen, I don't pull any punches on this show. I try to be nice, but give me a break. Douglas Connor. Don't know. Don't see a. Okay. Oh, there's another Marcelo de Cruz. There we go.
Has Bonnack put up any recent ones lately, or is he laying low key?
Where is Marcelo de Cruz here? Oh, is
I
this
gotta say,
him?
that's not him in the middle up the top there. He's going to get killed.
Yeah, really. This was 13 hours ago. Is that him?
I hope that's not him.
Or a client.
Yeah. I don't know because I think that's him.
Luke.
Oh, look at those glutes. Sexy.
Yeah,
Hey, click on that glute shot. Go back to that glute shot. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, look, somebody put Puff Daddy next to him.
Come on stage like that.
Oh, God.
Well, hello now. Does he have an OnlyFans?
Yeah, really. All right, he's going to get wrecked.
You might not get any prize money, but you know what he got for that picture there?
Oh, that picture's going to make him more money than the winner of the Pittsburgh. That video in the right location will make you rich.
There's another guy, Pavel Baran. This guy's going to get destroyed. Holy shit. Oh, this was 2 weeks ago. Not that it's going to change much, but
He looks a little bit more classic, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, then again, some of the guys we've seen are just that freaky. Makes them. I know he looks pretty good there.
No.
No.
Yeah,
No, fucking.
Nah, he's gonna get wrecked. Okay. I'm trying to find. All right. That seems to be everybody that is the unknowns.
But like I said, I think the main contenders will be, like you said, Derek, Nick, Bonnack, Good Vito, Martin, and Crizzo.
I want to see how Bonac does against these young guys.
He'll do good. I think he'll do good if he's in shape
really
like you
think
want.
he's going to do well against these guys. I really do. I don't think he's going to get
Doesn't really have many weaknesses.
Yeah, really. This is 3 days ago. Here's another guy. He already qualified for the Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
He won Detroit, right? And this guy just looks. He just doesn't. He seems to not age.
Well, considering everyone wrote him off 2 years ago, his legs are down, he's finished, he's out.
Really, I don't know what he did.
Comes back better than ever.
Yeah, I don't know what he did, but this guy really put it together and came back better than ever.
I mean, he definitely looks the best he's looked.
Oh yeah,
in current years.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
All of us old guys who are losing our legs, let's go. How'd you get your legs back, Bonnick? What'd you do?
Yeah, really. Because look, I wouldn't be surprised if you see him as high as second or third. I really wouldn't. All right, let's see. Good Vito. Oh, Good Vito Vitali.
You see in the US at the moment, they'd be there by now, wouldn't he?
Yeah. This was 4 days ago. He's another guy. He looks great on Instagram.
I hope he can hold that for the show. It looks crazy.
Yeah, but when they transitioned him and because he didn't look like this.
And even when I see someone like that, to me, it's like you got very minimal to do now. You look full, you look hard, put tan on.
And that's
Don't
it.
get crazy with carb loading or doing whatever you do, hocus pocus, because then you're going to fuck it up. It's like when you look that good, that far out, smallest changes make a big difference. But these guys go, 1,000 grams of carbs, add some insulin, add this, and you're like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, he just fucked everything up. Yeah.
I'm
trying to see. Yeah, this is his back shots. That rear double by is.
I know.
He's going up against two of the guys, or three of the guys, maybe even four of the guys with the best rear double buys in bodybuilding now. Nick, Derek, Bonac, and Martin. Right. That rear double buy just does not fly in this lineup. I know it's only one pose, but it's significant,
It'd be good for him just if he gets comparisons, just to see where he stacks up with him. Because he's so young still. He's still young.
I hope that they do that. All right, let's see if we can find Mike Crizzo.
You know, if they're in the New York show, Steve will work him and fucking put him through the paces.
No question. Where is why isn't he coming up?
He blocked you. You
I
said
wouldn't be
something.
surprised. Yeah.
You said something bad
After
about
you
it.
said that, you're gonna start an what do you call it?
Go fund me for the
Go
muscle.
fund me.
He got insulted. He got insulted that I said you look like him.
Yeah, you know what? I think he either he took himself off fucking Instagram or he really blocked me.
He's gone, is he?
I can't look. But you're probably blocked, dude.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's not. Martin blocked me.
That's weird.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. You know what? We'll just go to RX Muscle. They usually put up.
I'm gonna have to look down and see if I got blocked by him.
All right. Yeah. So here's Crizzo now. This was 7 hours ago.
Oh, he got his name is different. His well, you should have been able to see it.
Put his name in properly, John.
Yeah, really.
IFBB Pro.
Yeah,
Let me try.
because we didn't know it was pro. We didn't know it was pro.
IFBB Pro.
MICH.
KEYMOUSE.
Ah,
There it is. Yeah.
Ah, you're not blocked. Take that back.
Oh, what they changed is see, this is bullshit, man. Okay, here we go. and like just that is impressive, dude. Like that's fucking impressive.
Yeah.
I just like it's like the old days, that nice big deep tie-in on the delt and the arm,
Yeah.
like things like that. Even though, like I said, there's guys who don't weigh as much, but if you get all that fine detail, the illusion on stage, you're going to look so much more impressive with that deep striations and deep cuts like that etched out.
You don't see that anymore.
No.
Remember
Agreed.
you hit our triceps, Lee, and you'd see in the long head just stripes
What
all
a
the way
fit.
across.
Mm-hmm.
I think you
Fucking
see that. I think you
Deltoids
see
would have
that.
all the
Dude,
cross
God.
striations in the deltoids and that. Yeah,
I
they
think
just
you
got
see
big
that
muscles.
more in classic now than you see in the open.
Mm.
Those
Yeah.
details, because okay, so that was Crizzo. That was disgusting.
Mm. That's what you think of him. He's going to block you now.
Yeah, really. And here is Nick. Let's see. See, here's the thing. I mean, like when you
That's like I said. It's like that nice hotel lighting. Just when you come out the bathroom and look in that mirror, the one down light near the door, but you look fucking great.
this is why I think he might not even take second, is because of his shape, and he's going up against guys with great shape like Martin and Bonac. I mean, like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm fucking wrong. But like you just look at this and it's like, ugh. That's actually his worst. That's his worst pose, honestly. His front lats, but
like we're all making sort of educated guesses, but I think until they actually come out, we're not really going to know.
oh, absolutely. I might be dead. I'll probably be dead wrong. And the next one we're gonna look up is Derek.
And they'll be like, and the winner is Good Vito. We'll be like, oh fuck, we're way off.
We're all fucking let's see.
I don't think he's put up any recent pictures.
No,
has he?
I don't think he has either.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't think he has either. All right, let me see if there's a Martin on RX Muscle, because he definitely blocked me.
Well, even Boss of Outlaw was saying that when they said, oh, this picture of Martin's not looking whatever, and he's like, yeah, we're deliberately putting up pictures that don't show him at his best, but come day of the show, you're going to be surprised. That's why he sent that picture to Fuad to look at. He goes, we've been deliberately putting up pictures where he doesn't look the greatest.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, that's that. But
yeah,
it's gonna be a solid show. But
yeah,
that's how good the show is that everybody's got different predictions. Luke is saying that Nick's gonna pull it off. Jay thinks Martin's gonna pull it off. What did you say, Lee? Who do you think is gonna win?
I just pulled myself off a second ago, if that counts.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm hoping. Like I said, I haven't seen him on stage, but I'm hoping I'm like Nick.
Yeah.
Going out on a limb saying Nick. But here's what it takes. That's just going to depend on how the others show up. So, like I said, I think with these guys, as good as the Arnold was with Sampson and Derek and all them, I think this show is actually a bit more exciting than what the Arnold was.
Absolutely. There's no question about it. Yeah, there's no question about that. This show's more exciting. The Olympia is, if there's an upset, the Olympia is going to be fun.
Right. Well, like say Nick wins. Okay, Nick just beat Derek, who's been Mr. Olympia. Nick just beat Derek, who beat Sampson, who's Mr. Olympia. So come the Olympia, you're going to have Derek, Sampson. If Hardy's in it, another Mr. Olympia, and that sort of thing. So that's going to make it really good. Whereas, like I said, gone are the days where Jason and I would go to Olympia and go, Ronnie's in it, the fuck, he's winning. Second, third, fourth.
Right, yeah.
Like when the winner's already determined, that sort of takes the fun out of it, but not knowing who the winner is makes it more exciting.
100%. Yeah, there were years where I remember, watching the Olympia with Phil Heath, and I just go, it's a wrap. It's
like if you watched F1, remember? I remember watching F1 one year. There's still 7 races to go, and Schumacher had it wrapped up, and you're like, no, okay.
Yeah.
Imagine racing, and yes, it's good for your team and money, but you'd be like, no matter if I win every fucking race from this point on, I still can't be the champion because Schumacher's got it tied up.
It's like there are just some great athletes like a Ronnie Coleman, and you just happen to fall into that era, you're fucked. That's it. You just
well, like I said, if Ronnie wasn't there, Sean Ray probably would have had an Olympia. Flex would have had an Olympia. Probably Kevin would have had an Olympia. Cormier might have had an Olympia.
If Dorian wasn't there that year, NASA would have won.
But even when Dorian was there, I think it was close. NASA looked pretty good. That was probably Dorian, because it was his last one. He had the most injuries, but I think NASA looked better myself personally.
When the Weeders ran it, they kind of pulled off a lot of bullshit.
Well, we had a big stretch. You had Haney for 8 years, and you had Dorian for 5 or 6 for Dorian
was 6.
6.
Dorian was 6. Then you had Ronnie and
8
at 7.
Then Jay for 4, right?
Jay was 4, but not in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And Phil had his stretch.
Phil at 7. Lee Haney does not get enough credit.
Phil had 7, didn't he? Phil had 7.
Phil at 7. Lee Haney does not get enough credit.
No,
he doesn't. Anytime anybody talks about the best ever, they skip him, and it's like, how do you skip him? Out of your fucking mind?
I'm good friends with Samir, and Samir's a nice guy, but isn't it funny? If you only win it once, they almost forget about you. Like Samir Badu, when he won it, he looked fantastic, but you're sort of like, you don't remember. It's like, if you haven't won it more than twice, it's like, fuck, it doesn't count.
Samir's rear double by is one of the best in bodybuilding history.
Right.
It's for the time, it was like lights out. Nobody ever saw anything like it.
The Christmas tree and everything from it.
But not his rear double by was incredible. But Lee Haney's on the Mount Rushmore of bodybuilding as far as I'm concerned, and nobody fucking talks about him. And I think it's because they, there's not a lot of footage of him on social media when he was Mr. Olympia. Where Ronnie you still had a ton of footage, even though it was videotaped. You had Road to the Olympia. You could still find all that stuff.
Well, Lee Haney, all you had was the Olympia itself, or you had that. I remember he brought out its training VHS tapes for a while, and Gaspar.
That's how you
he was training with the rope man. He goes, I don't do that many reps. I'm here to stimulate, not annihilate.
Yeah. And but he was phenomenal. He was perfect. He was picture perfect. It was,
and that last one he did in Florida, because remember the year before was drug tested, they're all a bit off. Everyone's like, come Florida, when that stage turned around, he was just standing there. You're like, fucking hell. It's like he came back, it looked like he was a different person altogether.
Yeah, he was fucking great.
Remember he trained Holyfield, and when Holyfield went to fight, everyone's like, Holyfield's going to be too muscular. Holyfield looked like a small version of Haney in the ring, and he still fucking fight.
And he beat the shit out of everybody. Yeah, right. Well, yeah, those were great. Did anybody see? I know nobody watched it, but Caitlin Clark had a WNBA preseason game, and she hit a 36-foot three-pointer. Did you fucking see that?
Was that in where was that?
It was at her old college. It was in Iowa, but they brought up the Brazil national team.
Yeah, Brazil, that's right. Yeah.
And she hit this shot, and I was just like,
mid-court.
Yeah, and I'm like, how the fuck did that? It should be a 4-pointer. It was just.
What's her name? Who's the black girl? Is like, well, people watch too.
Hang. You ever see those videos? Angel Reese.
Angel.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
oh,
She gets
man.
upset over. She gets upset
Videos
over
they mock
Caitlin.
Yeah.
It's not all about her. I'm a good player. People are into my name. I should be getting
Good old shot.
Those videos are hilarious. I don't know who is the guy that does those videos. They're hilarious.
are the ones where they have them missing all the shots and doing this.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Bang!
Yeah. But the Caitlin, look, I get it. I get it. You know, the Brazilian team is not as good as the WNBA teams. It was a preseason, but the girl put on a fucking show. Jesus Christ! I mean, she was hitting 3-pointers like Steph Curry, for fuck's sake. It was unbelievable. Anyway, all right, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I think I fucking kept you guys long enough.
We actually spoke bodybuilding almost the whole time.
I know. When it's just you and me, Lee, it's almost impossible.
Well, we start, and then it just goes sideways.
I know. I was actually going to clip that part, but I might have got blocked off Instagram. I was going to clip that part where Xavier left, and you said he was jerking off in the corner.
You can just see shadow. You can see his shadow moving a bit.
And he said, and Lee goes, in a few minutes, all you're going to see is like a white stream shoot across the camera. He goes, what the fuck was that? A seagull? I was going to clip that, but I'm like, they're gonna fucking censor that if I clip that. All right, fellas, listen. We will definitely be in touch. Thank you, gentlemen. All the love and respect.
You going on live or doing a show when it's on the weekend? Or
I don't think so. I doubt it. But if I do, I'll let you guys know. But I doubt I'm doing it live.
We can we can do the comical side.
Yeah, that's all we can do. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm out.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, bye.